know, William and Kate will be writing their notes and everything on this trip, and their diaries, which will also be kept and used at a later date, say for when there's an official biographer to write their story, their life story, when they're long gone.
Fascinating. How much, when we talk about preparation in this, so, I mean, I don't know, to put it in simple terms, do William and Kate have staff sitting on the plane with them on the way over, briefing them, prepping them, giving them notes, giving them pointers, who they're meeting, what they do?
Absolutely, they've got a daily brief of exactly who they're meeting, a biography of who that person is, interested areas that they could discuss and talk about, and also, more importantly, that they have to understand the timings they've got on every single job. So yeah, they've been well prepared. They've got a guy called Miguel Head, who's their Prince William's private secretary, and Catherine has her own private secretary, Rebecca Deacon, who will be briefing her like a chief of staff for a politician. And beneath them they have others, you know, PAs and other people, plus their press team as well, liaising. But it's their private secretaries are their main chief of staff.
Yeah. Well, they do really well. I mean, everywhere you see them go, they've clearly got a lot of questions. They're very interested. They're taking it all on board. How much room to move do they get as far as if they decide they want to go and meet some kids or shake hands? I mean, so far, pretty much every engagement has run to the minute. There's only been one or two that have gone over, and we're only talking 10 minutes anyway. Yeah,
well, you can set your clock to the Queen, because it is pretty rigid with her. But with William and Kate, actually, if they do want to go out and do a walkabout, which seems the right expression to use as we're here, and shake all the hands of the kids, they'll do that. And he's the boss, you know, he's the principal, he's in charge, and it's really up to the security to then just deal with that, and that's what SA14 do very well. They will just say, okay, we'll give them that leeway, but they have to stick to time too, because you know, you've got people waiting at each job. The next job, there's more people waiting, so you don't want to disappoint or upset anybody.
And some of them are sort of longer than others. Some of them, I know this afternoon they're meeting with the Chief Minister for afternoon tea, and that's like a 10-minute window, so it's obviously got to stick to time. Yeah, but they just look so comfortable. Everywhere you see them go, everyone they meet, they just look really comfortable.
I mean, William has been doing this since he was a little boy. I mean, I remember going to his first ever engagement in Wales with his mother, Princess Diana, and he's used to this. You know, this is what he's been brought up to do. I'm really quite majorly impressed by Kate, the way that she has done this job very, very well, very smoothly, has no difficulties whatsoever, and seems to interact very well with everybody.
We might listen in on this just for a moment. Absolutely beautiful. This is a traditional welcome to country for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge this afternoon in Uluru in the Northern Territory. You're watching the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge at the Uluru Cultural Centre this afternoon, being given a very special traditional welcome to country. The Inma, they're the men and women who are sharing their traditional song and dance, and this is a very special welcome. It's a royal one, obviously not done very often, but these, the Inma that we are seeing today don't do this very often. Their rituals are passed from generation to generation, their stories through families, ancestors laying down the rules for living, which guides the Anangu people even today. And they actually have to inherit the right to hear these stories and learn all about them. You can see the ochre-painted dancers and the clapping sticks create quite an infectious rhythm, and the chanting of a rather beautiful song. The local singers and dancers, the royal couple presented with gifts made especially for them. Some jewellery for Catherine and a shield for William. They'll also be given some beautiful dot paintings which have been made in their honour, and they're actually painted on paper which is made of marla poo. And you did hear me right, so that is the poo, I guess, of a very rare wallaby. It's kind of like a hair-like wallaby, so it looks a little bit like a cross between a kangaroo and a rabbit. It's only about 30 centimetres in length. It has become extinct in the Northern Territory in the wild. There's only a very few left in captivity, so they make this very special paper made from their droppings, and that's what they've used to do a painting this afternoon for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. We're not seeing them swat too many flies away, Rob. That's the thing that's got all of us. It's certainly it's very warm here. I imagine after flying out of Canberra early this morning. I hope they were warned, but we've got a beautiful top of 32 degrees, actually slightly above average, so we're very lucky given it rained here about a couple of weeks ago, quite torrential rain. But a magnificent setting, so yeah, they'd be enjoying it.
Well, they're very much going to enjoy it. They also later will see the rock at sunset, and they may be staying here later as well overnight. So in a glamping holiday.
Yeah, now have you heard about that? Yes, it's called Longitude 131. There's only about 30 tents. Yeah. It's the fanciest of fancy camping you will ever see.
So it's not carry-on camping, it's very, very glam.
It's nothing like my family did when I was a kid, let me tell you.
Yeah, but they'll wake up to the sunrise, and that's going to be pretty incredible, I think. So,
dinner under the stars, and it's the night without Prince George.
Another night without Prince George. They've only had one other night, that was in New Zealand, and this is the first time they've been away from him on this particular leg of the trip. So, yeah, a night away from him, under the stars, romance, glass of wine. All right, leave it there.
But you've got to remember, young couple, 8-month-old baby, we all remember that moment where the thought of a night away and sleep in is pretty precious.
Pretty precious, but this is a pretty special place to have a night away, I think. So they're very lucky as well, and I'm sure they acknowledge that.